Welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Priti Jagwani. I am an associate professor from Department of Computer Science, Aribhat College, University of Delhi. So in this series of computer networks, today's agenda is about networking devices. So when we say networking devices, what do we actually mean by that? So all these networking devices are physical devices. Those are that allow a hardware or a piece of hardware on a computer network to communicate and interact with each other. And this hardware could be anything ranging from computer to any other system. These type of networking devices also helps in managing the data and directing the data flow in a network, that from which particular node could be a computer. So, from which particular node the data should flow to which particular node, all these things are kind of controlled or managed by your networking devices. So, we can say that they ensure the efficient communication between all the devices which are connected on the network. Within this process, they also control the data, they boost the signals also, and they linked different networks. So, it is not like that kind of one they operate within one network. So, we have networking devices, those are used in order to link different networks. So, we can also call them some of them are inter-networking devices. And there is a long list of those networking devices, we will call them, and each device serve as a specific role, from simple data forwarding to complex routing between the network. So, if we want to kind of list down the functions of these network devices, we have so many functions. So, first and the prime most important function is they help to send and receive the data between different devices, which is the basic function of a network, which is the data communication. So, these network devices are going to help in this data communication. They also allows devices to connect to the network efficiently and security. So, maintaining and managing the connections is also another function which they perform. Apart from that, they improve network speed and manage the data flow in an efficient way. Also, it is not about maintaining and managing the data flow and kind of joining the hardware devices or making them join to the network. They also protect the network by controlling the access and preventing some threats. We will be taking example of these type of network devices, and also they helps us in expanding the network range, because they are kind of they helps us in boosting the signals. So, if the signals are kind of strong enough, strengthened enough, then we can expand the network range also, and in this way they helps us in solving the signal problem. So, it is not just the sending and receiving the data or kind of communication between the between different nodes. They also allow nodes to connect to the network. They helps managing the network speed. They protect the network by controlling the access and preventing threats, and also they helps in expansion of the range of the network. So, wide variety of functions are being kind of we can say served by these network devices. So, what all categories are covered, or which all devices are covered within these network devices. So, here is a list, and please mark that this list is not exclusive. These are most basic kind of we can say network devices. We will be definitely covering all of them one by one in greater detail, and additionally also we are going to have some network devices, or we can say some components which are important for managing or connecting the nodes on the network, but they may not be listed here. We will be taking some others also. So, the basic list revolves around these things, these kind of devices. One is an access point, another one is modem, then we have firewalls and repeaters. Also, we have a hub, bridge, switches, routers, gateways, and NIC. NIC here stands for network interface card. So, we are going to definitely read or definitely understand about all these plus we will be we are going to get some additionals also. So, let us begin with the first networking device, which is access point. So, access point, when we say, so that means it is a kind of a device which is there to provide the access. So, the basic functionality of access point is this allow all the wireless devices, for example, maybe a smartphone or a laptop, to connect to a wired network. So, we have a wired network, and then we are bringing, you know, one another component or one another node, which could be a smartphone or a laptop, and we want that to be part of the network. So, we are going to, you know, require this access point because it is going to create a Wi-Fi network that lets the wireless devices communicate with the internet or other devices on the network. So, that is the basic functionality of the access point. They also use to extend the range of a network or provide Wi-Fi in all those areas that do not have it. So, one, you know, kind of we can say function of access point is also kind of extending the range of a network or providing the Wi-Fi in which in the areas or in the nooks and corners where it is, you know, not available. Where can we see these access points commonly? So, you can see these access points commonly in home, offices and public places to provide wireless, you know, internet access. So, access point is something which is kind of helping any wireless device in order helping any wireless device to connect to an already existing wired network. So, in these type of situations we need access points. Moving further, we have modem. So, modem, as the term indicates, it is kind of, you know, we can say it is a term which is coined by the addition of two terms. One is modulation, another one is demodulation. So, MOD from modulation and DEM from demodulation, and combined when these modulation and demodulation, we call the term as modem. So, modem is also known as, you can say, as I have told you, modulator and demodulator. Basically, it is a network device which is used to convert digital signals into analog signals of different frequencies and also transmit these signals to a modem at the receiving location, and at the receiving location the modem which is going to be present over there is going to do the opposite of that, which is conversion of analog signals to digital signals. So, for example, let us say you are connecting a computer to a, you know, kind of telephone a device, or we can say a telephone network, and you want to send data through that. Now, please recall, in legacy systems this was the only you know, idea through which the network was established, and so many, you know, networks were working on the through the telephone line. So, we need to connect our computer or our laptop to the telephone line, and then, you know, kind of the signals were to be transferred. Now, the computer, which is computer is a digital device. So, all the, you know, kind of data which is being handled or which is being generated by the computer is in the digital form, while those you know, telephone wires, or we can say telephone lines, are analog, are based on the analog signals. That means they are they handles analog signals in the analog form. So, what do we need to do? So, we need we need to have a modulator here at the end. So, from computer the, you know, signals goes to a modulator, then those digital signals are converted into the analog one, they travel through the network. At the receiving end there is again one modem. So, and that modem is going to receive the analog signals of the telephone line, and in order to transfer further that those signals further to a computer, it is going to convert those analog signals into digital signals. So, at the, you know, kind of sending end, the modulator, the modem is doing the conversion from digital to analog, and at the receiving end the vice versa, or the reverse is going to happen. That means analog signals are being converted into digital signals. So, modulation as well as, you know, demodulator, and hence the name modem, modulator, demodulator. So, those converted signals can be transmitted over any cable systems like telephone lines, as I have given you, and any other communication mediums which are there to handle your analog signals. And then at the receiving end, a modem is also used to convert an analog signal back into the digital signals. So, this process, how this process is going to be converted, how this process is going to happen. So, this process involves modulating one or more carrier wave signals to encode the digital information which is then transmitted over the medium. So, we have carrier wave signals. So, these carrier wave signals are going to be modulated in order to get the digital information encoded, and hence we will be able to we can say transfer that digital information. So, this process and the process vice versa is also, which is we can say on the receiver hand, the demodulation is done. The receiver signal is demodulated in order to recreate the original digital information. These modem basically produces a signal that can be transmitted efficiently and decoded reliably. So, these two are kind of important terms. We can say the transmission has to be efficient and this coding decoding has to be done kind of in a reliable manner regardless of the analog medium being used. These modems, if you can see can be used with a wide range of analog transmission methods. It could be a method which is based on radio waves, or it could be a method which is based on light emitting devices and much more. So, these modems can be used with a variety of analog transmission methods, be it light emitting diodes or radio or something of that sort. So, if you want to have a look at how the digital waveform looks like, although this is kind of very basic, and I am sure that you people are aware with this, and analog waveform is given on the in the picture as kind of in the bottom half. So, digital waveform is in the form of either 0 or 1. So, either the presence of the signal is there or the absence of the signal, while analog data waveform, if we talk about, so it can have different magnitudes, different amplitudes and so on and so forth, not necessarily all those discrete things like 0 and 1. So, these are digital data waveform and analog data waveform, and the conversion of one to another and vice versa is the we can say function of modem. Now, this modem is actually used to create initially in legacy systems. If we talk about, it was used to access the internet by the customers of an internet service provider. So, we have different internet service providers, and whatever customers are there with that service provider, if they want to access the internet, modem was required in the earlier system. Looking into types of modems. So, based on the technology, we can say there are 4 main types of modems. One is a DSL modem. This type of modem uses regular phone lines to connect to the internet, and the problem is it is slower as compared to other types of modems. So, DSL here is digital subscriber link. Then the next type of modem is cable modem. So, this cable modem is used to send the data through TV cables, and it definitely provides a faster internet than that DSL modem. Moving on to this type of modem, as I have told you that there are 4 main types of modems. One is DSL modem, which is going to connect phone lines to the internet, cable modem, which is going to send data through TV cables. We have wireless modem and cellular modem also. So, wireless modem connects devices to the internet using Wi-Fi wireless fidelity, relying on the nearby Wi-Fi signals which are available. Cellular modem, if we talk about, it connects to the internet using mobile data from a cellular network, from a kind of phone network. it may not be having kind of any Wi-Fi or any fixed cable. So, if there are fixed cable, so it is going to be either the cable modem or the DSL modem. If those lines are phone lines, then definitely it is DSL modem. If those are kind of TV cables, then the cable modem, then wireless modem which connects the devices to the internet using Wi-Fi, and cellular modem is something which is going to connect to the internet using mobile data from a cellular network, not from Wi-Fi or neither from Wi-Fi nor from the fixed cable. Now, these were kind of all these four were types of modems depending upon the transmission technology, we can say, or basically the carrier wave, or on which the signals are being modulated or demodulated. Depending upon the direction of the data transmission, if we talk about modem can be of three different types. One is simplex, another one is half duplex, and third one is full duplex. So, by this time if I am talking about simplex, half duplex and full duplex, you must have got that I am talking about direction and time of the data transmission from one end to another end. So, looking into the simplex modem, a simplex modem can transfer the data in only one direction from a digital device to a network, or from a network to a digital device. So, either it can do modulation or it can do kind of it could serve as a demodulator. So, that is what the simplex modem is. Moving further, we have half duplex. So, a half duplex modem has the capacity to transfer data in both the directions, but only one at a time, not the simultaneously. That means, from sender to receiver and receiver to sender, this cannot be a simultaneous transmission. So, that is why this is known as half duplex. And if we talk about full duplex, so full duplex modem can transmit the data in both the directions simultaneously, that from receiver to sender, or vice versa. So, depending upon the direction of the data transmission, the timing of the data transmission, these modems can be simplex, half duplex or full duplex, and depending upon the transmission technology, they can be DSL modem, cable modem, wireless modem, or cellular modem. So, this was actually when we talk about modulator demodulator, which is modem. Moving further, one I cannot say device, but kind of one component which is very important, and that was not listed in the list which I have shown you in the initiation of in the inception of this lecture. That very small component is very important one, and that is known as RJ45 connector, and that is a very common term in the domain of network, which is known as RJ45. So, RJ here stands for registered jack, and 45 is actually a number given. Basically, this is an 8-pin jack which is used by devices to physically connect to the Ethernet based local area network. So, for example, we have local area networks, and that local area network is Ethernet based. So, that cable, if we are going to connect into our laptop or any permissible devices, the connector which is at the kind of one end of the cable which is to be inserted inside the device, that is kind of RJ45 connector. Ethernet, as far as I am talking about, basically I have already told you in brief about the Ethernet. That is, it is a technology that defines the protocols for establishing LAN. So, when we talk about the connection, the cables used for Ethernet LANs are actually twisted pair cables, and we have seen what actually twisted pair cables is when we studied about the different transmission media. And at both the ends of this twisted pair cables, RJ45 connector pins are kind of, we can say, inserted or connected. These pins are inserted, or these pins go into the corresponding socket on devices and connect the device to the network. So, here is the figure, or here is a picture of your RJ45 connector, and this is kind of a very common I can say an element which is required in order to set up a wired network if I am talking about. So, I cannot say it is a complete device, but yes, a very kind of important component, RJ45 connector. Moving further, one we have is Ethernet card, and this was listed in that particular list which I have shown you in the starting of the lecture as NIC. So, NIC stands for network interface card. So, NIC and Ethernet card both are the same. So, NIC is the another name for Ethernet Ethernet card, basically a hardware component which is used by computers to connect to Ethernet LAN and communicate with other devices on the LAN. So, if this LAN card is actually not present inside your device, you cannot communicate communicate to the other devices which are available on the LAN. And if earliest Ethernet cards, if I talk about, were external to the system, and there was a need to install them manually. But in modern computer system, it has become an internal hardware component. Now, it is not available in the kind of external format. This NIC has an RJ45 socket where network cable is physically plugged in, and the kind of connection between your Ethernet card or kind of NIC and your cable is being fixed with the help of an RJ45 connector. So, in order to have a clear idea of how this NIC kind of looks like, we can see this on the screen. So, the card which is shown is actually your Ethernet card or NIC, as I have already told you, and then you can see a cable, and at the end of the cable there is a connector. And please recall that this connector is an RJ45 connector which we have just described, which we have just taught. Now, in order to insert that physical cable onto that network card, and please remember that this network card nowadays is an kind of internal component of the computer. Only what you can see at the outside panel of the computer is just that socket in which you need to insert an RJ45 connector, and that RJ45 connector is having a cable kind of attached to it. So, yes, with in this way we can connect the LAN, or we can say connect the wired LAN. And here a common terminology is, in order to connect the LAN, just take the cable and attach it into the machine, and then we say we are able to access the LAN. So, this is kind of, this figure is going to give you a clear idea about how this NIC looks like. And nowadays, as I have told you, that this is present internally. In the earlier machines, this was an external component. Now, if we talk about the various speeds of these Ethernet cards, this speeds of these Ethernet cards vary depending upon the protocol. It is going to support various Ethernet cards supports different protocols. Old Ethernet cards, if I am talking about, had maximum speed of 10 Mbps, which is much lesser than what we are getting now. Modern cards support fast Ethernet, and they can kind of deliver a speed of, let us say, 100 Mbps, and some kind of more efficient cards can even have the capacity of 1 Gbps. So, capacity vary on the kind of, we can say, the technology which is being used, I mean like the modern technology or the legacy technology. So, basically if we talk about Ethernet card, it is actually a piece of hardware. The basic function is to enable the computer to communicate with other devices on network, and also the kind of, we can say, the important thing is it provides a dedicated connection to the network and contains the necessary circuits, as you have seen in the figure, to translate digital data into signals used to transfer the data such as Ethernet or Wi-Fi. That means it constrains the circuits which is required to translate digital data into signals used to transfer data to Ethernet, Ethernet or Wi-Fi, we can say. Now, how this NIC, network interface card, is being kind of, we can say, identified. So, NIC represents the computer on a network and is identified by a unique MAC address. So, every computer is having a MAC address, which is actually the MAC address of this NIC card. When a user browses the internet, the NIC act as kind of a go-between for the computer and the network. This converts digital request to electric signals and transmitting them to the network, and the whole process works as follows. The computer sends a request to the NIC, which converts the request to electric signals. These signals travel through the internet to the web server's network card, where the signals are translated back into data that is processed by the server. So, this is the way this whole process goes on. Now, we have seen NIC, we have seen kind of we can say RJ45 connector, and within this process we have seen the whole process also. When the web server responds with a web page, this whole process happens again in the reverse. That is, the connection between the software on the computer and the NIC is also handled by a driver, which is very important component, software component, we can say, loaded into computer's memory and remaining resident while running. And the operating system's kernel delegate the access to the driver by applications that need to connect. So, in this way whole process works when we use this Ethernet card. So, if we kind of want to use the LAN connection, it is wired LAN, we can say, we need to use that Ethernet card. So, let me summarize this lecture. We have covered various networking devices, including your access points, modem, RJ45 connector, and we have also seen network interface card. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of lecture. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next lecture with more remaining networking devices. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye.